It's time for football, and that means we're talking sports. Horse racing, greyhound racing, and sports betting with your host, Kip Keefer. Don't just watch the action. Get out to Birmingham Greyhound Racing and put a bet on it. Here are today's tips and strategies to help you get in the winning game. Now here's Kip Keefer.
Hello again, everybody. I don't have a striped shirt or a whistle, but I'm going to signal the beginning of college football. Let's kick it off on a Saturday. It's going to be outstanding. Kip Keefer here to tell you all about it with my main man, the self-proclaimed Pope of college football. Bless you, my son. It is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. Are you ready for some football?
30 minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Do you feel it this morning? I feel it, Kip. I'm excited, baby. Another Saturday of seeing the greatest sport in the world, college football, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be outstanding. We've got a full lineup here on ABC 3340. We'll tell you about those games later in the show. First, we need to tell you about Birmingham Greyhound Racing, our sponsor here. Big times coming up 2 weeks from today, October 27th. Alabama and Auburn are both off on their bye week. The Magic City Classic's in town. If you're looking for entertainment that evening, everybody come on out because we are giving away one sweet ride. It is a Mustang, a classic Mustang that somebody's going to walk away with on the 27th.
Yeah, I drove this thing in the building for the Birmingham race course, and I want to tell you, Kip, them guys out there driving them Pintos and them little old Mazadas that you ride, and them women just keep turning you down. One look at you in this, baby, and the 10s are going to come running for you.
Somebody's got to win this car on October 27th. It may as well be one of our viewers.
I wish it was me, but I can't.
That would be a little controversial. Also, the following weekend, Friday the 2nd of November, Saturday the 3rd, it is the Super Bowl of thoroughbred racing,
yes.
The Breeders' Cup from Churchill Downs in Kentucky. This is all the horses, all the best horses from not only the country but all over the world converging for a bunch of races in all these different divisions. The great news for you is not only is it great racing action, it is the ultimate winning opportunity, and we're going to give you everything you need on our website, on our Birmingham Greyhound Facebook page, and we'll give you a few best bets right here on the show on the 27th. So mark your calendars for those two big weekends, October 27th and November 2nd and 3rd at Birmingham Greyhound Racing. All right, we got to switch to football. That's what everybody tunes in for. They want to hear Kip and the Legend and our impressions of last week. We've called this segment a couple different things. I got a new one this week. Let's call it SEC Heroes and Zeros.
Oh, yeah, there was a bunch of them, too, Kip. There was a bunch of them.
So from last week, Legend, when I say hero or zero, who's the first person or team that comes to mind?
A big zero, Kip. Gus Malzahn. Somebody get on the phone. Get the fire department. It's a dumpster fire down there in Auburn. It's over, and it's not even in the middle of October.
I was telling you what a tough business this was. I was confirming Gus's SEC record through his first 5+ years, 26-17 right now in the SEC for a $7 million a year coach. Danny Sheridan told us here that if Gus Malzahn is worth $7 million a year, Nick Saban's worth $10 billion a year.
$10 billion.
That puts it in perspective. But on Wikipedia today, and you can look this up, it says born October 25th, 1965. Springdale, Arkansas. Died October 6, 2018, Starkville, Mississippi. Tough business.
It's time to get on the bag phone, ladies and gentlemen, down there at Auburn. Get that money together, put it in that bag, and call the bag man.
Oh, my goodness. Again, not to blow our own horn very much, but we were pretty prophetic on this, saying how loaded Auburn was, especially on the defensive side of the ball and at the quarterback position. But remember, in preseason, we said it several times, this team has got to be able to run the football to be effective. This team cannot run the football. Their statistics nationally are shameful. They're only averaging about less than 3 yards a carry. They're 13th in the SEC out of 14 teams. This is not Auburn football that we're used to.
No, and that's what happens when your starting running back was a quarterback at a 2A high school in Alabama last year, Kip. That's what happened. And you're missing at Auburn. And like I said, you need to get on the bag phone because Kelly Bryant's available. He could turn it around for Gus. he's your hope, Gus.
Yeah, and the offensive line will be 1 year more experienced because they are struggling.
It's over this year, Auburn.
But look at the trip to Starkville. They didn't produce a touchdown in that game to a team that has been playing good defense. We'll give them that. But the other astounding statistic in this game, Mississippi State rushed for 349 yards against that Auburn defense.
I mean, I could have ran for 150, Kip. I mean, the holes were everywhere in that game. This Auburn team is melting down. We are so disappointed. I know the Auburn fans are disappointed. But this week, Auburn, you are a big 0.
For heroes, I'll throw one out. We talked about Jake Bentley, talked about South Carolina maybe having a chance against Missouri last week because they were back home. Miraculously, they won that game, but it wasn't Jake Bentley. He didn't play. It was Michael Scarmecci.
Who?
Michael Scarmecci, sounds like a character from The Sopranos. But how about that?
Tony's right-hand man.
As a hero, don't you love when a kid, this guy's a senior, has been down there 4 years, never seen the light of day, comes in and puts up 37 points. Now, we've talked about Missouri's defense being a little subpar, but this was another game subjected to the weather delay.
Yeah.
I did some research this week. You know how many people have been killed by lightning at any kind of football game?
How many?
One less than one.
Another 0.
Never has happened. I'm all for safety and everything else, but this new trend is...
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
Auburn had a 3-hour delay against Southern Mississippi 2 weeks ago. If this was all about safety, there have been a couple of fatalities in the parking lots of stadiums, and that's what they're making people leave the stadium now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we can talk more about that. We want to talk about games.
Yes.
But any other heroes or zeros come to
I
mind?
want to tell you a hero, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest quarterback to ever put on the pads at the University of Alabama. I'm not talking about Ken Stabler. I'm not talking about Joe Namath. Even though they were not Scott Hunter, not Walter Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, sure not Mike Shula. I want to tell you who it is. It's that Tula fella, baby. It's that Tua fella that hadn't thrown an interception all year, Kip. We're in October. This dude is outrageous, the greatest of all time, and we're going to talk about it in the next segment. But Stephen A. Smith said this is boring. There's nothing boring about Tua, Kip.
No.
Nothing. He is a hero, the greatest quarterback ever at
We're
the
going to look at
University of
Alabama
Alabama.
and Auburn's matchups as soon as we come back. We're off and running here on Talking Sports, looking at college football. Kip and the Legend back after this.